Hi, I'm Ria,
Hi, I'm Hayley, and together we are
Chronicles of a Spoonie,
sharing stories.
creating connection. I've got nits.
You've got nits.
I feel like I got nits. You know when the base of your neck the base of your hairline gets itchy when you get nits?
Yeah,
Mine's really, really itchy.
I blame that video that you showed us the other day.
Okay, so you remember I said like I used to suffer really badly with them?
Mm-hmm.
And when I said that, I was not kidding. My mum and my mum's best friend had nit parties with my head.
Really?
They would spend between 5 and 9 hours combing my hair. They would run eggs through my hair, vinegar through my hair, you name it. If they heard it could work, they would
try
do it with their hair. Obviously conditioner, because they can't hold on with conditioner. And I would be sat crying because it just went on for so long and they felt so awful that it was either shave my head.
Wow.
Or I had to wear this stuff. I can't remember what it was called, but it literally smelled of almonds. And everybody would always look at me at school. Like, what is that smell? And it's the only thing I could do to not have nits.
Yeah. Isn't it weird? Some people they seem to get them more often than others. And I still hate that there's such a misconception about nits, about you're dirty and all that stuff. And you just
clean.
It's to me it's such common knowledge that they go for clean hair, and it still is a thing that you get nits, but
yeah,
all kids get them at some point. It's unavoidable. Really is.
I was well known for being the dirty kid because my hair was so ridiculously thick. Like hairdressers used to love my hair because of how thick it was, because you could do so much with it. Not so much now, obviously, but because it was so thick, getting all the nits out was so impossible.
Yeah.
So impossible. But yeah, I got called all the time that must greasy hair, wash your hair, you won't get nits, all that sort of stuff. It's like I wash my hair every day. Like I always had clean hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, the misconception on nits is crazy.
It is.
But that video was something else. Like, how does it get that bad?
I know. See, to me, this is a video that you'd shared to a few of us actually, and
in the mod group.
Yeah, in the mod group for your Totally Me Living Life, TikTok and Facebook, and it was a video of a child who had a mountain of nits in their head, and for me, it was just so heartbreaking because clearly that it was a mother who had neglected, or a parent who had neglected their child and the fact that they had nits, because no one could not have noticed it until it got to that stage. Right. Like, it could have been handled so much earlier, and I just felt so sorry for that poor child.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing obviously we always say and try to take into consideration is a 30-second video. We don't know the rest of it.
Yeah.
But when we say a mountain of nits, we're not even joking. They did like 4 combs and then held the comb up to the camera, and you just watched them all riding, like climbing over each other. It was absolutely just mind-boggling. And I'm not being funny, but if my hair had gotten to half that bad, my mum would have just taken my hair off. Like, that would have been it.
Yeah, it was awful to see.
You don't put a child, like whether they're a girl or a boy, just take it off. But did you know there's actually a thing called a nit doctor now?
Is it?
There's literally this place you can go if your kids have got nits, and your kid will leave their nit free.
Oh wow, okay. I always thought it was just a home remedy thing that you bought that, is it head drill or something that's called, and it was a home application and that was it. And only if it got really bad you would go to an actual doctor. But I didn't realize there was somebody specifically you could go to for that.
Yeah, so obviously where people like them, and it would have been for me, I would have been there. But so if you try is it head drill or head drill?
Yeah, something like that.
If you try that and it doesn't work and your children are suffering still, there's this group of people you can go to, and they will give you these treatments. And we used to have an electric comb. It was awful because you would hear it zap the nit. And I always felt bad. I'm like, it's just having a home. It just wants somewhere to go. I'm awful. I'm so empathic. But these they literally do lots of combing and use lots of treatments, but you get a massage, the kid gets like a massage too to make it less invasive for them and like upsetting. But yeah, no, there's I was actually watching it. So you got the TV program for is it the pimple doctor or something?
Yes,
Yeah, there was one for the lip doctor. It's
that is
crazy.
news to me.
So oh,
Puppy farts.
oh, they are the worst. They are the worst. Oh my god.
They just
Because
smell like pure shit. Like it just smells like raw shit.
do you know what? The first time he did it, I actually came over and lifted up his tail because I thought he'd done something, or that he had something stuck to his ass. And he just looked at me like I just
Violated him.
that I just violated him. He's like, ah. I was like, I'm sorry. I said, but I thought you shut yourself. It was so bad. But the one thing I am looking forward to with the raw feed is that it actually reduces that smell quite considerably. And I don't know why it does. Maybe the natural ingredients, I don't know. But that's the bit I'm looking forward to the most. The smell being less. Because it's just so intense.
Yeah. It's really localized too, I find, with puppy farts. Like someone could be sitting on one side of the sofa, the dog could be in the middle, and only one person would actually smell it. It's really localized. It's strange. Puppy farts are just a special kind of fart.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been times where Scott's not smelt it.
Yeah.
I've got up and the dog's moved past him and all of a sudden he goes. Like in cartoons where all of a sudden they smell it and they go green, they like collapse.
Yeah.
That's literally Scott's face the other day. I thought it was just going to go kill over.
Brilliant.
But for something with such a cute face, how can you see it?
I know we should probably actually properly introduce him because this will be the first chit chat where he's actually been in it.
This is Odin. Odin is a Bichon, I always say Bichon Frise, no, but a Bichon Frise puppy. He is, oh my goodness, he is 12 weeks and 5 days old today.
My goodness.
How fast has that gone?
So fast.
The weirdest part is, and I said this to you the other day, didn't I? It feels like he's been here forever.
Yeah, and that's how you know he's right. If he's just slotted in like that and you can't imagine time before him, that's how you know he's right.
As you know, I was really nervous because, as everybody else probably knows, we did have another puppy. My baby passed away on the 20th of March 2020, just as lockdown was happening, and we literally just made it because the day after baby was put to sleep, they weren't allowing people in no more. So we had just, we were just able to be with him. And the house was quiet, and so Scott wanted another dog, and I agreed to it reluctantly, but I didn't want to get another Bichon because I thought, this doesn't feel right. So we bought what we believed to have been a Cavapoo. The devil has nothing on that dog. She was sweet, she was really sweet, but her energy levels, you couldn't lessen them. No matter what you did, she would go on a 2-hour hike and come out home and still go for until 2 o'clock in the morning. Like we're not prepared for that much energy, and we knew quite fast that she wasn't the right fit. But you don't get rid of a dog, kind of thing. That was our brain cells. Like you don't get rid of a dog. But we also realized that she definitely wasn't a Cavapoo. Anyway, so long story short, she started going through my line, and she figured that if I was tired, not giving them enough attention, that if she put her mouth around my line, she would get attention. And she figured out quite fast she'd get quite a lot of attention because obviously that's my lifeline. And there was no stopping that. And we ended up rehoming her with a dog walker, but she's actually thriving over there where she wouldn't sleep here. She slept since day one there, like in her bed, fast asleep all night. When she was here, she was up and down all night. She would go out for her 2-hour walk and would then come home and sleep. Like her energy levels were just reduced, and it just showed that that was the right match for her. You know, I think with dogs that
You do, and she had other dogs as well, didn't she? You know, well, as being a dog walker, she had dogs herself. So I think having probably more company and other dogs to burn out the energy with probably helped her a lot too. And I feel like it gave you so much peace of mind knowing that it was the right decision, because when you're making that decision, you know, no one ever takes that decision lightly. And you're a huge animal person, and I know how much it broke you, you know, to do that, to have to give her up. But for your safety, it had to be done. And you know, it was so clear straight away that it was 100% the right call, and you really thought it through who she was going to, and you know, she couldn't have gone to anybody better, really.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we both cried for. I just couldn't stop crying for weeks, but we could have sold her.
Yeah,
that was an option. But my priority was the match. I would rather the match be correct.
yeah.
And the thing is, when she would be brought back from her walk, she didn't ever want to come home. She would pine for her dog walker. And so I phoned the dog walker, and I was quite sneaky with it. I said, hey, this is what's happening for us. And so we're looking to find like the right place. Do you happen to know anybody? You know, that whole sneaky stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody? And straight away she had said, and the reason I knew she'd want her is because she said, if you ever breed her, we would like one, because her daughter was obsessed with Missy. And so she's like, oh, well, you know, we would love to, but we can't give you any money, so we understand that that's not an option, but I will like speak to others, and there's somebody I do know, and I said, I don't want any money of you. I just want the right home for her. And she's like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Like, are you actually being serious right now? And you knew straight away that she loved her, like she adored her. And that was it. But I said to her, we're gonna have to do it fast, because I can't hold on to her knowing that she's going. Like, that's hard part. So anyway, she went, and she's doing amazing. She's thriving. She's down a fantastic time. She's been hiking in the Yorkshire Dales, you know, wonderful time. So we left it at that. And I always said, oh, I'll have another dog, because I couldn't go through that again.
Yeah.
You know, but Boxing Day, Christmas Day, mother and mother-in-law were here, and we're having a conversation and asking me why I didn't have another dog, and we know that you're on a mission, and I was explaining that I couldn't go through that again. And they must have told him, because on Boxing Day he says to me, so how long have you wanted another Bichon puppy? Like, did I hear you want another Bichon puppy? Like, is it true? I was like, yeah. How long have you been thinking about it? I said, September. He's like, would it make you happy? He said, well, okay then. And that was it. Now, I was flicking through all the pet adverts for months. I do it most nights. I just sit down, like if I'm on Zoom with you, once we've got off, I just have a flick before sleep, you know, and I can look at the puppies and know that they're not for me, and close it down anyway. And they're never any near us either. Like, they're normally like hours away, like a 4-hour round trip or a 6-hour round trip. And Boxing night, around 9 o'clock, I think it was, I open up an app and I'm scrolling through, and 15 minutes away is 9 Bichon puppies. And I'm like, okay, and I sent you just the front picture, didn't I? Like this. I think I kind of confused you a little bit. But I continued scrolling and found there was more photos, and there was this one picture with a puppy with a brown collar, and she'd taken a picture individually of them all, with the same toy, and every single one of them was ripping into the toy in the photo except for one. And they were just lying there, the brown collar on, just chilled.
Yeah.
And I went, that's it. That's the one. That's our boy. And I messaged the breeder, expecting no response. And this advert had just gone out that night as well. It was almost like it was meant to be. And we ended up speaking till midnight. And by midnight, I agreed to go and see him the next day, with no promises, I said I'd know if I knew, like the connection would happen if it happens.
Yeah.
And we went there, and she got him out, and he walked over, and he sat, and he just looked up at me. There was no crying, no scratching, no jumping, no nothing. Just sat and went, "Hi, Mum." And then in that second, I knew that he was mine, and it got confirmed. I don't know if I ended up finishing the story and telling you that, because I don't know if you remember, I kept saying to you there's something I wanted to tell you about it, but I couldn't remember what it was. Well, what sealed the deal for me was this. When we got Bailey was our original one we had for 9 years. When we got him and went to go and get him, there was a woman and a kid, a little girl, stood there waiting. And I was like, "Oh, sorry, we're in your way." And they're like, "Oh no, she was the last, you've got the last boy." But they also wanted a boy too. And so I said that if you didn't want it, obviously they can have him instead. And I was like, "Okay, no worries." And they checked it with Bailey, and I felt the connection. We took him home, and obviously it worked out. The same thing happened with Odin.
Goodness.
She said that somebody else wanted him, so they're waiting to hear if you're going to have him. And I knew this was perfect.
I did tell you from whenever I first saw him, and from what you told me about him and his personality, like I've said to you a few times, he is just, I'm convinced he's your Bailey. He's come back.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Because he's just, the way he's picking things up so quickly, it's like he's just falling back into a routine that he knew before, and he's just so perfect. And the difference that I've seen in you since you've got him, and the bond that you and him have already in such a short space of time, to me, that is your Bailey. He's come back to you. So things always work out the way they're meant to be.
So what was that?
Things always work out the way they're meant to be.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I really do. It just surprised me because I didn't think I'd ever have an ambition. I thought it'd be too heart-wrenching.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like you're replacing a dog, and I think that's a real conflicting thing whenever a pet passes and you choose to get another one. There's this feeling of guilt for a while, because you go, I don't want to replace the dog that I had, because you can never replace a pet. You can never replace them, and they're always one of a kind. And I think that's something that's really conflicting whenever you're thinking about getting a new dog.
Yeah.
That you worry about, the past dog.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I have once or twice. He'll pull a pose, and it's like, "Oh my God, baby." And I have a couple of pictures on my phone now that I go, like when I'm scrolling through, I'm like, "Oh my God," and I'll go to Bailey's album and I'll scroll through, and I'm like it's the exact pose, and the exact like look back look as well. So I don't know, I kind of agree with you there. And he is, and I keep saying it to people, like he is perfect, and everyone keeps saying to me, "Oh, just you wait," and I'm thinking to myself, no, I don't mean like. I think when I say he's perfect, everyone thinks I'm saying that he's not doing anything naughty and he's just being really good, and total opposite. Like he is a tornado, he wants to dig everything up, he wants to bite everything. He is doing his naughty puppy stage, like trust me. But he's getting really good with the no, and he was, when he first arrived, he wanted nothing more than to apparently electrocute himself, because every cable he could find, he wanted it.
All puppies have a cable stage.
It's wild. It's like, why are you trying to kill yourself?
Yeah, if it could go death wish.
Oh my God, he's done it again. But quickly he took to the no, and he'll go to do it now, and you just have to say it now. You don't even have to give it a no, as you've heard before. It's just a no, Odin, and you kind of go, "All right, Mom."
Yeah.
He's catching on to things quickly. He's doing really well with his crate training. He's done really well with like the sit command and the retrieval command. And I don't know if you've seen it, if I managed to catch it on video and sent it yet, I don't know. But once he's been to the toilet, he will walk in and he'll sit.
Yeah.
We didn't even train him with that. It was an instant thing he did. He would come in, he'd sit, and it's to get his treat, but also it gives us a chance to wipe his feet.
Yeah.
So if he's been in the mud or whatever, it gives us that moment to wipe his feet. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
So when I call him perfect, I call him perfect because of how he is learning.
Yeah.
The Russians are huge, stubborn breed. They're well known for being super stubborn. But he's just doing really well. And that's what I mean by perfect. I don't mean that he's not doing anything. I mean that he's doing great at learning.
So good.
It really is. And hopefully he might wake up at some point and actually say hello. But me settling him down apparently knocked him out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop staring at his little nose.
I know, little button nose.
My favorite thing is to go poop.
Yeah.
Like Ariane does with Willow. Poop.
Always boot my through.
It's cute, isn't it?
I love that.
Poop. Don't even need to like touch it hard. Just
No, just a soft touch.
I love dogs. I think dogs for us with chronic illnesses are just a perfect companion.
Yeah, it's strange because it's almost the word that comes to my head when I think of having dogs is an escape. And it's a strange word. And I think the reason I think of it is just because they're always there for me. Like even on my worst day, I can go to my dogs and I'll cuddle them and they're never angry with you. They never fall out with you. They're always happy to see you. And all they want is to spend time with you. And it's just like if I am having a really rough day or if I'm in pain, I can just cuddle with my dog and I escape.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. And I think for me is I'm so busy feeling my pain and feeling sad and being highly aware of everything in myself that yes, I have my tortoises, but just having him and training him and being with him, watching his cute moments and feeling like I'm going mad with his bad moments, it distracts you. Like you said, it's a distraction, and I'll sit there and it's not until later on that I really think about anything to do with me in a minute, unless it's like an extraordinary bad pain day. Like I'm like, oh, do you know what? I'm feeling the pain at the minute, but today hasn't been too bad, and I feel myself saying that a lot more since he's been here. Today's not been too bad.
Yeah, and I think the other part of that is that it brings routine in because you've got a structure to your day. You have to have a structure for the dog. And I think that indirectly ends up helping us because we then have that structure and routine. I know for both of us that we do like structure and routine. We don't like big changes. We don't like our day being disrupted or all over the place because then we're all over the place mentally. So having that structure to the day with the dogs, I think is really important.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely a routine. Gals can't handle newness.
Yeah.
So the first few days with him was like overwhelming because obviously there's this new member that needs a new routine, but it's happening now, and I think that's what I was trying to explain earlier about babies and settling them down when they're over time and that lot. We've got a routine for it now. He has a because he's before till he's 6 months he's got 3 meals a day. Because their is it glycemic level?
The glucose,
yeah. So their levels at his age struggle to stay balanced.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's mostly glycemic. But having the 3 meals keeps his levels at a good level instead of being like too overwhelming. So he has he gets up in the morning. He's a very good sleeper. He can sleep till like 10 o'clock. So he gets in the morning, goes to the toilet, and then he comes in and has his breakfast. He'll have a play or another nap. He's pretty good at his naps. Then he'll have a big play, a massive play. Then he'll have a midday snack nap for an hour in his crate. And then he has his lunch. Then all hell breaks loose. that's his naughty stage. That's his big naughty stage there. But he will break it up in the middle of a nap in between, very short nap. And then he'll have his dinner. He will turn into a wild child for about an hour, which I think you saw the tail end of.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I can't even get mad at him. It's like it gets a bit like, oh come on, stop now.
Yeah, please stop.
But then that's just a crate moment. Like, okay, you're too hyper, you're too overtired now.
Yeah, he overstimulates himself.
Yep. So 10 minutes in the crate, not even a long time. Doesn't need, like, I don't want it to be I don't ever want the crate to be a punishment center, you know. But he brought himself down. He ran his energy out in there. He likes flipping his bed over and over and over and over. It's very weird. And then he comes back out, and as you see him, goes to the toilet, and he just is done. That's it.
Yeah, so he has his routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just reading it. All I could see on Google was that it was just to keep their energy levels consistent. The 3 minutes just means that they're not having a big peak of energy and then dropping and then not getting anything until dinner.
Yeah.
It keeps them more consistent.
Yes. So I definitely I learned a lot from Bailey, for sure. I learned a lot more from Missy. Even though it didn't work out for us and her, I learned so much from her. And I'm so grateful for her. And I keep saying to Scott, I think she was meant to come to us. I think we were meant to learn from her. And I think she was meant to go to where she is. And like they said, they could have never have afforded to buy her. And we could, you know, it's not like we could afford to buy her and hand her over. But I think that she was meant to come to us to go to them.
Yeah.
And I believe in fate. I do. I believe in moments like that. And I truly
everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I truly believe that. That's why I always question, why am I so sick? What's the reason? What did I do? Because it feels more like a punishment than a lesson. But I truly believe she was meant to come to us to go to her.
Yeah.
And I think we were meant to learn from her, and I absolutely learned from her. And that's why we are being the way we are with Odin, and I think it's why he is the way he is. And I'll be very grateful to Missy for that, you know. And it's every time I mention getting a new dog, everyone's instant response is that you just gave away a dog. And that hurts. That really does. That actually hurts more than I think they realise.
Yeah, I remember whenever you got Odin, and you know, we were talking about announcing, you know, and I know your worry was how you were going to do that, because your fear was just what everyone was going to say in terms of Missy. And you know, you thought there was going to be judgment there.
Absolutely.
That was the hard bit to overcome for you, because you didn't want the happiness and the joy to be taken away of getting a new puppy, and the excitement and the new love that you felt for him to be shadowed by this judgment and guilt for Missy not being there anymore.
Absolutely.
And I know that was something that you did struggle with whenever you did first get him.
And we did get some judgment. We did get some judgment from places that also didn't expect to get some judgment. But the other thing is, I noticed that everyone seems to have this thing that the only reason that we got rid of Missy was because of her grabbing my line. And absolutely, that was a huge part of it, because, you know, safety. But she wasn't the right fit for us. We weren't fulfilling her needs. And it was so unfair on her for us to have kept her and never met her needs. She needed more than my energy levels could give.
Yeah, and it's not as if you just decided one day, oh, you weren't going to keep her, and you know, just you know what I mean. It was really carefully thought through. It was, you know, figure out what you could do, speak to different people, and obviously the dog walker worked out to be absolutely perfect in the end. But you know, it was really carefully thought through. It wasn't just a simple decision, and I know it broke you to try and make that decision too.
Absolutely, and I was crying so heavily for so long that the new owner couldn't come back to get the stuff. She collected Missy. No, she collected Missy's stuff. Sorry, I got that wrong way around. She came and collected Missy's stuff and was meant to come back and get her. Because I was sobbing so hard, she couldn't come back. Because she didn't want to start sobbing herself and then go from one crying owner into the arms of another crying owner, because that would have overwhelmed Missy. She wouldn't have got it. She would be like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
So the other dog walkers, so her mum, don't live together. They actually live like 10 houses apart, so we're all quite close. So the mum came and got so what they did, like they were going to go out for their normal walk, so they just collected her as if they would normally. So the mum came and they went on their walk, and instead of coming here, they went home. But I broke her heart, the new mom's heart, because I couldn't stop breaking my own.
Yeah.
Although it was the right decision. That's the other thing though, isn't it? No one sees the talking about rehoming and the planning the rehoming and finding the new owner and talking it through with the new owner. You know, it's a yeah, we're rehoming Missy, and that's all they see. So they're like, oh my god, it's off the cuff.
It was never that was never the case.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But she's right by us. We can't see her.
And you've had photos and things sent to you as well. You know, you've seen pictures of her in her new home, and you know she's settled well, and you know there's still potential for contact there. I know it was too hard for you for a long time.
Yeah. The new owner said if we ever want to go down, Scott's been and seen her several times. Yeah, I can't do it. I just can't. And I think it's more. It's not about me. I don't have the connection Scott had with her. I never did. When you have a connection with a dog, or you don't, in my opinion. And I never had the same connection Scott did. And so, but she adored me and she clung to me, and I feel like it would do her more harm than good to see me. Yeah. But I would like an ideal world, I would love Missy to play a role in. Yeah. Like that would just be a perfect ending. But she's doing really well, and
he's become a cushion.
His head will have come above water soon. You know when we're doing our chit chat that we do that moment where we like recommend something or show something that's helps us with our chronic illnesses. If it's something small, like, well, say small, but our water bottles, they know, and how they help us by not having to go up and down the stairs to go and get a drink, or sorry. You so deserve that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at you, but you did.
Here he comes. He's going to resume his position.
He went to go and get my drink, and I grabbed it before he did, and there's a little hole, and so he fell down the hole.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, during the chit chat, we normally give a tidbit of it, something we've learned that helps us, or something that we found that, like the water bottles, that we found that instead of having to keep going up and down the stairs, I could just take the water bottle upstairs, leave it upstairs for the day, and then my drink's upstairs, and I don't have to worry about keep going up and down for another drink. Yeah. Well, this is actually a perfect moment to share an item, because I've just had to wash my hands after cleaning up after the ocean here, and I don't know if you can see. I'm probably not going to be able to because the light's so bright, but my hands have literally just dried out. They're like crinkly, all crinkly at the minute. I can literally solve this in one hit. Like, you know when your hands are so dry they itch?
Yeah, I hate that. It's like a stingy itch.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Oh, it's all over my hands at the minute, and they look like old people's hands at the minute because they're all just wrinkled and crinkled. And I actually keep it with me everywhere, as you know. I've got it in every room, and I've got all their products. But this is a perfect moment to advertise it. It is O'Keefe's. This one's called Working Hands. I always call it Working Man's Hands. I don't know why, but I do. But I said it properly there because I'm actually looking at it on the screen over there. This is working hands. This one here is a more thicker one. It's a more of a like a pasty thickness, like it's not going to come out. And you actually only need the smallest, just probably not even that's too much. You need the smallest amount. So maybe that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see that it's just a little small coating that's not at all. And that will do the entire hand. And it's just, some people don't like this one because they say it's greasy, but if you put too much on, it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those ones where you've got to just be really careful with how much you're putting on. But I've just put that all over my hands. It's coated my entire hand, that's small bit as. And it's given me instant relief. And it's all smooth and soft and supple again, just like it is when I was 21. But I have them all, as you know. I have the body cream. I have, obviously, the working hands. I have the lip balm. Oh my God. If I can ever give you a tip, their lip balm, the best lip balm I've ever known. And it gives you a coating, but you can't feel it. It's not the greasy kind. And it just lasts. It lasts all day. If you're having really bad problems with your lips, they have a lip balm repair kit. You put it on at night. It's new. You put it on at night, you go to sleep, in the morning your lips just feel amazing. I have their foot repair cream. I have
everything. You should be a brand ambassador.
I should be, but I go through a lot of different creams. I get medical creams a lot because of my health. I get a lot of medical creams. You can't see that, I don't think. There you go, Seconda. Solonda, not Seconda. It's a good cream, but it's really very thin. It's watery. You can get a lot of creams like that. Vaseline is something that I've always loved, but I again find it too heavy and thick and too greasy. And I always struggle to get a good one it's either not normally too greasy or too thin. It runs out really quickly. You have to put a load on, or one you put on and you know it's on. But honestly, with O'Keeffe's, if you have to wash your hands an awful lot like me, mostly through my OCD than anything else, but also, as you know, for my feed, 100% get some working hands. And if that's too much for you because your hands aren't that dry, just get the body lotion, honestly.
They have a tube, don't they, for hand cream as well? They don't, not just the tub, they have the tube of it too. So
yeah, it's not this one. You can get I believe you can get this in the smaller one,
okay.
The purse one. But the body lotion one comes in it's a hand cream kind of version of that. It's great. It really is, and it's purse friendly as well. And like you said, it's a little tube with your cap on the end.
I just think it'd be good for traveling as well, because I always like to carry like a hand cream with me. Yeah, I like a big tub for the house, but I like having a little tube that I can take with me, because it's always when I'm out and about, especially in the winter. That my hands just get, so it's that itchy thing, and it's always the back of my hands for me. They come out in a real rash and they crack. Anytime I move, I can feel the skin actually cracking. So hand cream's a big thing for me this time of year. So I am going to be investing in one of those tubs.
Sorry, when I get it worse, I suffer a lot in the summer.
Really?
Yeah, a lot. I think I suffer a lot more in the summer, I would say, personally.
I do get it in the summer sometimes, just because of heat. If I am in the sun, I would find that would happen in my hands. But for me, it is more the winter time. I mean, I can get flare-ups randomly at any point, really. So it's always good to have some on hand, pun intended. And that just rolled right off the tongue there. I didn't even have to think of that one.
I didn't even notice that you had done a pun until you said pun intended, and I was like, oh, she did that.
I'm here all week.
My favorite sentence. It's just brilliant. And the thing that I do that everybody tells me off for, and I actually laughed, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but I always put the body lotion and this on my face, and everyone goes, oh my God, no, your pores, like you'll age quicker. I don't care. It makes my face feel amazing. Like, give me wrinkle that.
I never really understood why you couldn't use body lotion on your face, because if it's okay for the rest of your body, why is it not okay for your face?
Something to do with pores on your face being more open. This is what I heard on talk. But apparently you got bigger pores on your face, and they're more open, obviously, because you're using cleansers and scrubbers and that. And body cream is made thicker.
Okay.
where your face needs something a lot lighter so it doesn't clog the pores up. But I don't care. And I'm so bad with it that I put makeup on to do this, and then I went and got some hand cream. I was putting it on my hand, and then I just went like this. As I was going back upwards, I went, oh, my makeup. I didn't do anything.
Force of habit.
I just came and put straight on the camera, and you can't tell, can you?
Not at all.
I'll just say I was crying. I'm sorry, but does this not look like a comfy pillow?
Yeah, I think he looks like one of those lambs. They're the sheep rugs. You could put him on the floor and you wouldn't even notice. He's just a little rug.
You know those lamb extractor
draft excluder.
Yeah. Those. Bailey was always called one of those. He was always called a draft excluder because he liked being by doors.
Yeah,
he loved being by doors, and he just reminded you of those draft excluders.
brilliant.
Just so either you're going to be a rug or an excluder. So because we were talking about O'Keeffe's, and I know that you were saying that it works better for you in winter because your hands get colder and chapped in the winter. I struggle more in the summer, but it's actually quite a big thing with winter, isn't it? With having chapped hands. Do you have chapped pores? Do you have chapped pores? I know my lips are absolutely.
Always.
Oh my goodness, and I'm having to go outside quite a lot because Odin's got a upset stomach at the minute, and it's freezing. Like I'm wearing like 5 layers plus a coat and a hood and a hat and 3 scarves, and I'm not even joking. Like the pile on the table over there is huge, and I was saying to my mum that it just made me think of the homeless people. Like I'm freezing cold, and I know that in a minute I'm going to go back inside. Like it was unbearable for me.
No, it's funny. I'm exactly the same actually, because our washing machine and tumble dryer are out in the garage, and I'm going in and out for doing washing, and it's something I always notice when it gets this cold, because this has been the first real drop in temperature. When it gets this cold, that's exactly what crosses my mind. I'm thinking, people are out here living in this day every day.
And I've said to my mum that I really wish we could raise money and buy every homeless person a warm charm. Now, if you don't know what a warm charm is, it's an electric hot water bottle that holds a charge for like 7 hours. And I said to my mum, like, we could raise money to get every homeless person one of them, get them access to a electrical socket at night time, just before they settle down. And then they would have that warmth for 7 hours throughout the night, right?
Yeah, I don't know about you, but in our in Belfast, in the city now, they've introduced these they're like little, I don't even know how to describe them. They're just pylon kind of thing. Well, not pylons, but they're little units that they set up scattered around the city, and they've got little screens on them, and you can read about news, you can click on them. They've got little USB ports for phone chargers. Now I don't know if they have proper plug sockets in them, but they are there for the purpose of anybody who needs to look up any news or needs to plug in their phone to charge it, including homeless people. They're to be used by them. So like little information points kind of thing, but they're free to use just around the city. And I think if more major cities had things like that, that would be so useful, because you could have something that, you could hand out things like that with electric plug sockets, and somebody can go and use it, one of those stations, and charge their hot water bottle.
Exactly, and then you have that area of warmth, but then my mum tells me a story of what's happening right now in Norfolk, and I believe in the area of Down Market, a elderly man with dementia has gone missing. He was last seen at the shop, I believe yesterday, and it would have just taken one wrong turn, and he's not returned home. And so he was out last night in that awful temperature, and tonight's meant to get to like -4, and they haven't found him yet.
God.
And it just broke my heart.
And he doesn't, like, if he's not lucid at that, he's got no idea what's going on, where he is. He'll be so scared.
Absolutely.
And an older man as well. It's just, I hate hearing stories like that. I hate it. I just think it's so horrible that, it's another topic for some other time. But dementia and Alzheimer's, I just think are some of the cruelest conditions out there. They are just, it just takes somebody's identity away from them, and it breaks my heart hearing stories about that.
We went through it in my family, which obviously we'll talk about another time. But yeah, there was a helicopter looking for him yesterday. The town has gathered to do a big search party for him. I haven't checked yet to see if they found him. If I'm hoping they have.
He's
pray.
Lost, yeah.
I pray they have, but he's also limited on his speech now. So even if he finds somebody to tell them, there's a chance that someone's going to think he's drunk. It's heartbreaking. it really is heartbreaking. And feeling this weather and feeling cold, like I was just saying to you, that I am frozen. I mean, and I'm inside. I'm complaining that I'm cold and I'm inside.
Yeah.
It just makes you think, doesn't it? Like,
it does.
The poor gentleman, the poor people who are homeless, and so many of them it is by not by their choice. It's just so heartbreaking. I would love to raise money and give them a warm chance. I really would. They're great things. I'll have to show them one day, one of these as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic things. But yeah, I guess on that note, I need to get my feet up. We've been chatting away for ages.
We have, and covered all kinds of topics this time. We've covered knits and puppies. And
God, yeah, we did talk about knits.
We did talk about it. I think that's how we started. Starting out strong.
That's what I like about though, just sitting and having a chit chat with you. Is we just, it's so random.
It is.
It really is. And my brain's ultra random. It just started singing. We don't talk about Bruno. No. About Bruno. If you haven't seen Encanto, watch it. It's
definitely
amazing. I've already done around 41 times.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
it's good though. You'll love it. I've actually got it on the
oh my goodness, of course you do.
I have my phases, as you know. I find a movie and I watch them. One of my biggest and most watched is Hamilton. Encanto is definitely going to catch up fast.
It's up there.
And then we need to watch. Is it Wrong with Ron?
Ron went wrong, or Ron goes wrong.
Ron goes wrong. That's it.
Goes wrong. Yeah,
I've not watched it. I didn't watch it all the way through the first time, and I'm trying not to watch it again now until I watch it with you, so that I'm watching it for the first time.
Yeah, have to watch it for the first time together.
Yes. So Encanto is getting the views at the minute, but it's brilliant.
It's very good. It's well worth a watch. I agree. Definitely well worth a watch.
But yes, on that note, I feel like we should be moving on. Get my feet up.
I need to get my dinner as well. You get your dinner and I'll get mine.
There you go. It's sorted. And I've got to go and take care of the young gentleman there who apparently is in pain at the minute, so I need to get him some bits and bobs.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So yeah, that's us for another couple of weeks, and actually no, 4 weeks, isn't it? Because we have our gap. We have a medical one in between. So yeah.
Lovely.
Another 4 weeks before you see us for a chit chat again, but. Yeah, we hope you're enjoying the chit chats and you're getting to know both of us a little bit better and how crazy we are.
See a bit of the behind the scenes of what we actually do and get up to, because normally we tell you what we've been up to in the week, but yes, literally this week we have watched videos about knits and
yeah, it's been interesting. So, but yeah, no, we look forward to seeing you guys again in a month, in 4 weeks, and we hope you're all doing well and keeping safe and warm, and we will speak with you soon.
That's a bye from me.
And it's bye from me.
Bye.